Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, One Room Plant Guy. I hope you're well and thank you so much for joining me here today. So I'm here surrounded by some of my plants. I actually say like most of them actually. I think there's only 3 in another room, but that's it. So I want to give you a rundown of which plants that I have and really sort of a news report of what is going to be happening in the next couple of months. So this is one of my new plants. I don't know if I brought this one to you. This is called the Philodendron Fuzzy Petiole because the petals are fuzzy. The leaves can get very big. I saw this plant in a shop and it was growing a moss pole, and the leaves were massive. And I just took over and I was like, I don't know what I did. I just remember I looked at the plant in the shop. And the next thing I'm at home with it, or with one of them, not with it, because it was massive. So there's lots of plants in here. Let me take it out of the pot. It's still in its nursery pot, and as you can see, this gold pot here is actually keeping it so it's up. We've got one plant here. We've got a plant here. I think we've got a small plant here, another small plant here, and this bigger plant here. So what I'll be doing is this, you can see this needs to be lifted up. Let me put it back in there. I will be putting a moss pole in there at some stage. I will be putting a moss pole in there at some stage, and probably separating some of these plants out, just so that I've got maybe one that hangs off the shelf and then one that climbs. I love this plant. I love it. I love the shape of it. And then look at this new leaf coming through here. I will be doing a time-lapse video of this at some stage. When I set up my time-lapse video, the one that's going on at the moment, I did put it on here, but I changed my mind because I want this, when this leaf comes out, I want to get it. So just when the new bud starts to form for the next leaf, whereas this one, it was just about to uncurl anyway, so it was a bit late. But I find with this one, I don't flush it through like, as I said, with some of the others. I just water it until I can just see a few drops coming out. It is in a medium that I don't know. I don't think it's a very, very well drained soil in here at the moment, so I will change that soil. But I'm going to do a little bit of research. There's not much on these so far at the moment, and I don't understand why it's called just a fuzzy petiole. I thought it would have a bit more of a longer name, but a more scientific name. But still learning about it, and but it's one of my recommendations. I love it if you just want fast growing plants. Loves the light, absolutely adores the light. I do have it under the big grow light on the wall there. So yeah, and you can see it's great towards light because it's like this is no light and this is the light. So let me put this back. Now this is my Philodendron Ornatum, doing quite well. This was a gift. I never bought this one. There's no roots at the moment coming through. I repotted this the end of last year. It did have a leaf that got stuck, so I had to cut that away. But there's a new leaf coming on. It's doing really well. It's just not really doing much at the moment. So I think when I repot this up to the next level and we put a pole with it, it's going to do a lot more. This is one of those plants that if I have to have room, it will go. Because it's beautiful, but it's nothing special at the moment. But it's in its juvenile form, so there are many plants ahead of this one that I would want. So I don't hate him. I'm sure I have a friend somewhere who would like one like this. But yes, that's Philodendron Ornatum. So here we have some cuttings, some propagations, and they're doing really well, as you see here, and these will be repotted up soon. So in here you've got a Hoya Australis. I'm not going to get it out, but Hoya Australis, and then you have Scindapsus. Now, I cut the Scindapsus because my Scindapsus is not, there's not many main stems in it. So I took some cuttings of snaps so I have a sort of a fuller plant. So I will be bringing that. These have to be obviously repotted sooner rather than later. So that's another video that we will be getting to see. Now on the cutting of these, it's the same as the Devil's Ivy that I showed you earlier on. So when I do the Devil's Ivy, I can actually show you what I would have done with this as well. So it can be sort of, maybe we'll do a cutting, a propagation of that one, but we'll be also repotting this one at the same time. Okay, maybe we'll mix that together, but I don't know, we'll see. Now, I'm going to stand up now, so I might cut my head off. So, I'm going to get this one out. She's just been watered. So this is my prayer plant. It is quite small leaves, but it is in shade most of the time up there. You know, these plants, they love to follow the sun and the light. She does need repotting. She's only got like three stems in here, so it's not many plants in here. But as I say, she lives really high on the top shelf, on the second but top shelf. It doesn't really get a lot of sun, maybe only for half an hour, and especially not in the summer. And because I have my lights on plants that I really love, I tend to sort of, you know, neglect her. She is a gorgeous plant. She's doing quite well. I mean, she's got some new leaves coming through here, which are starting to get big again. This one here is a really big leaf, so that's definitely a bigger leaf there. She's doing her thing, you know. She's just hanging there. I think she's beautiful. There's no doubt that she's not beautiful. I think they're lovely when they're really small or when they're massive, but they need the light, you know. So yeah, let's pop that one away. I'm not going to show you my Tradescanthia because it's in dire need of cutting back. I don't know if you can see it here. Yeah, it needs cutting back, and it is due to be done. I tend to do it like once every year. It was, you know, brand new stems last year. So I'm not going to bring my Tradescanthia. It is just a Tradescanthia. I don't really want them hanging down anymore like this because it just takes up too much room. So I will be doing Tradescanthia again, but I will be just leaving them so that as soon as it gets to this height, I'll whack them all off. Okay. Now I have to be very careful for this corner because I do have a filming going on. So this is my other rubber plant. This is Ficus Elastica, and this is just amazing. I love it. I love it, and it's not even rare. So I mean, look at that variegation. I just love it. It did lose a leaf the other day, so I'm a bit like, oh my god, I hope I'm doing anything right. It's still in its pot, nursery pot. I still have the tag on. I've just left it on. I do want to take it off, but it's just so I remember what they are. So yeah, so it has a new leaf just about to come out. It looks like it's stuck. I don't want to press it. So new leaf that's just about to come out. This is actually quite a new leaf, so that's really good, and it's still as big as the others, so I'm really pleased with that. I do have this under a grow light. They love the sun, adore the sun. You can make these bushy by cutting the top off and then bush out. I won't be doing that for a long time on this one. The other one, I might just have it really long, really high. They do come bigger than this, but I wanted to have a baby, so you know, I learn how it grows. Not much I can say about these at the moment. I mean, the colours are just amazing, and this is what I like about this one and the other one. These, you know, the creams and the greens are really clear, whereas the other one, it's like it's got this opaqueness to it, which I don't really like. So yeah, so that's my Elastica, and this is my Hoya, which I love. Now I did break a bit off this Hoya by accident. It was doing so well. This is my Hoya Australis. So this is the bit where it snapped off. It has got a new shoot, so I'm quite pleased with that. And this is how much it's grown in just like 3 months. So I'm not going to keep it on this structure that I quickly made. I thought I was going to have it all going round. I don't like it when they go round and round. I've got one over here, a Hoya over here now. I can't think of what the name is at the moment. I should put a picture here for you. I just don't like it going round and round and round, so that one's going to go. yeah, it's going to go. As in, it's going to be cut right back and take loads of cuttings and start again. This Hoya that I showed you in the cuttings behind me will go in here, and this will be a big one. Hoyas love to be in a pot that's root bound. They love being root bound. This is in a very well draining soil. You tend to know when these plants need watering when the leaves go sort of quite soft. These leaves should be firm, and these are quite firm, so that's pretty good at the moment. So this one doesn't need watering just yet. I mean, you can see, this has been growing towards the grow lights, so you can see the leaves are beautiful, and the variegation is just amazing. So that's the Hoya there. There's not many left to do. So this is the plant that just baffles me. Love her when she's doing really well. That leaf's coming off. But there's times I absolutely hate her. So she's called the Ludisa Discolor. Now, as you can see, the leaves are gorgeous, and when I first got this, it was beautiful. Now I've had it in the window, I've had it on the side, I've had it watered a lot, I've had it dry, I've had it under a light, grow light. It hates everything. I have no idea. These are meant to be shade-loving plants because they live on the ground under trees. I've given it slight shade, not lots, but slight shade. It doesn't like it. The leaves go this really red colour. So I thought, oh, there's too much light. So I took it in the dark. The leaves went red even more. So I'm not going to hold out much hope that this one's going to be around for much longer. Not because I don't like her, because I do love her. It's just, I haven't got the energy to try and keep something alive. It's not anything to do with, you're going to learn from it. It's just, there's other plants that are more important that I would like if this one doesn't want to live. There's still some growth here. So I've moved it yet again under the grow light, but it's sort of slightly tucked under. Now, if it likes it under there, then it's going to stay there. It just means I just don't see her very often. It's not on the side where I can see her. So we shall see. So I'm sure there's plants that you have that you try everything. Sometimes plants they're just not, they just don't sit right in your situation, and that's fine. But yeah, so it's going to start. I have got new growth. So since I've moved, so I'm looking forward to it. If it does like it, then what I'll do is I'll cut them back and try and propagate it. I have tried once; it didn't really work. So, but yeah, the soil is damp. It's not dry. So yeah, so this is my, oh my God, what am I doing wrong type of plant, okay? We've all got one, and this is mine. Then I have my new, which I've had for about 2 months. It's still got the tag on, because this was not cheap. I won't say how much I paid for it. No, I'm not going to say how much I paid for it. This is a Philodendron Painted Lady. I love the colour. I love the pink stem, this really pinky stem, and the leaves are very small. That's probably because one, it's under a grow light. It wasn't under a grow light, but it now is. I think the soil is not right for her. I don't think this is a well-draining soil, so I think the soil is staying a bit too wet, and she's also in this plastic pot, which I hate plastic pots. But some plants, I'll keep in a plastic pot because it doesn't matter, but philodendrons, I do like to get it out. So this is going to be a plant that I will be repotting very soon. Now, this seems to be very similar to the narrower scale I have. They're both philodendrons. They look like they both grow very similar. They've got these roots coming out. As you see, if I can hold them both up for you. So you can see they both have small roots. This one's just starting to. They both have a very, very similar sort of node. If I give it the same situation, if I give the Painted Lady the same situation I'm giving to my narrow escape, I think we're going to be on a winner. I don't mind these smaller leaves because they're so beautiful anyway, and I don't really want another big plant like this. But I have seen them on the internet where they're growing up poles and the leaves are like this big. they're massive and they're gorgeous. I just love these really sort of yellow-green leaves. This is the newest leaf here, and it's already got a new one. So it is happy, it just looks like it's getting smaller, and I don't understand why. I can't see any roots underneath, so yeah, I think this is going to be repotted because it's just not liking the situation it's in, I don't think. So there's only three plants left really. The Gloriosum, which I have brought you many times, she is at the moment being filmed for a time lapse, so I'm not going to move her. I will show you a picture of that time lapse here. Okay, and she is producing a new leaf. She does need repotting, and I actually do have a plant pot on its way. It should be here today, tomorrow. I'm not in tomorrow, so good luck with that one. But the next few days, hopefully, it's a longer pot. Something just really cheap. I just had this new leaf is the last leaf. It's starting to hang out of the pot now. So the Gloriosums like to grow on the ground. So after this leaf, it needs repotting. So it's the best time to do it. I'm hoping that this leaf is a good one because, as I say, I'm doing a time-lapse video on it. And because of the time-lapse video, my Monstera Adansonii, which I have done a video for you when I repotted it, I'm going to take a little video for you and I'm going to put it up here for you so you can see it's doing really well. It's now climbing the pole that I put in and the leaves are starting to get bigger, so fingers crossed. Now that's been a couple of months. I had a few months where I was like, oh, not doing so good, but it's just suddenly taking off. But that is really in there. I'm not going to move her. So that's about it. And then I have my beautiful orchid, which you may be able to see. Pink orchid, love her. But as I say, we're going to do a video for orchids in the future. How could I forget this one? So this one is very dry at the moment, and I repotted it last year. I don't think it's in the right soil, so I will be redoing it this one again in different soil because it just doesn't like it. It has got some new growth on there, but the growth is definitely not as thick as it used to be. I do like this one. I never really thought I'd like them, but I do. I have tried to take cuttings. Everyone failed. I had them in water, they failed. I cut them off and put growth hormone in soil, they failed. So yeah, I've seen videos on how to propagate these and it's not working for me. So maybe it's just, I don't know. They don't like being watered a lot, and they're really good in shade. I just have it on the floor in the corner. Just, you know, the light's all around it, so it doesn't actually get sort of the plant lights on it. It's just, you know, sat underneath another plant. And there was a video I did recently, and when I got a freebie for the Scindapsus, which you've seen, but it's right down here. You can't get to it. So I thought that this was a different version of the Scindapsus, and it looks like it's the same version. So when I do the repotting of the cuttings here, they look the same, don't they? I thought this was a different version. I will be holding out. I'm going to let one more leaf come out. If it isn't, I'm just going to put some of these in here and be done with it. Okay? So these live in the kitchen, and the kitchen is really dark, like really dark. It's south facing, which is fine. So it's like north facing, which is fine, but 3 meters away from the window, there's a wall, like the end of a building. So there is no light that gets in there at all. I mean, it's like, if I want to make a cup of tea, I could probably just have another light, but that's it. So these like are shoved so close to the window. So this is a ZZ, which I got recently. I don't love ZZs, but I've come to love them because it's the plant that will stay in there. I really want a variegated CC. I don't like the black versions of the ZZ plant. Sorry to offend anybody, I just don't. So this is all new growth. They were quite small when I got them, I mean, they're double in size, so I'm really happy with that. I water it very little, but it is due to be watered now, just because there's no light. So ZZs are well known for being it can, you know, they tolerate lots of light and they tolerate no light. Not quite no light, sort of low light. Remember that, low light is not no light. So yeah, we shall see how she goes on. I don't know if there's going to be enough light for her, but yeah, I think there is going to be, because this other plant, which is Monstera again, but in water, has just put out a new leaf. Now she's really small, but I don't care. I mean, if this is going to live in here and she's just going to produce small leaves, that's fine by me. That's really fine. And what I'll do is I'll put her in a little pot and I'll keep the pot quite small and we can just have a little, you know, Monstera on the side, you know, just happily growing away, but not getting big and not having fenestrations. So there's one cutting here and I'm loving it in the water. I just shoved her in here. She was the one that was in here behind me. There was the 3 plants and I just pulled her out, cut the top off, shoved her in here and thought, well, it'll be just nice for a few leaves. And then she started growing. So am I unhappy? No, I'm not unhappy. And I think she might even have a fenestration. Oh, look, she's just about to unwind. So yeah, so I'm not unhappy. So there must be something to be said about that window because there's a new leaf coming. So she must like it. Oh, I just remembered. I haven't done this one. I mean, I'm finishing up the video and I haven't brought you my Verrucosum, the one I'm always talking about. I'm not going to sit up, I'm going to say. So this is my Verrucosum. You can see she's doing really well. And yeah, she's got 2 shoots coming here. She's got 2 new babies at the bottom, which I'll probably have to take out because I think the pot's a bit too full. So this is my favourite plant, the Thai Constellation. Okay, this is a new leaf, which you've probably seen opening in my time-lapse video. Let's talk about time-lapse because that's really a new thing for me. She's done so well. I mean, I'll put a picture of what she looked like a year ago, and it was just under, it was like 10 months ago. So yeah, she was like 2 leaves, and she was like, it was just these two leaves here, so you can see. It was just these 2 leaves, and this one's starting to die off. This was the first leaf, so it's a big day. But you can see she is going to need repotting because this is going round and round, and it's starting to come out. There's nothing come from the bottom, but I mean all the roots are coming out, so it does need repotting. So I find that this needs a grow light in here, and so it sits on the grow light. I water it every 10 days. Obviously more when it's having a new leaf, but you check with the water meter. Yeah, it's just one of my favourite plants. I love her. I do. I mean, the variegation is amazing, and it's funny because I hated them when I first saw them because I obviously like the traditional Monstera Deliciosa and the alga. I saw the alga on pictures. I was like, oh my god, the alga's amazing. The alga's amazing. You know, with the white variegation that you see here. And this one just looked a bit sort of messy. It wasn't one thing or the other. But now I've got it, it's just amazing. I want the Aurora, which is, I think it's Aurora, and it's slightly more lime green, if I remember rightly. It's like minty. I think there's 2, I think I might be talking about 2 there, but I'm not going to get any more, I can't. I mean, they're just too big. This one's going to get big. This one is the one. If I can't have a big Deliciosa, I want a big Thai. So as you can see here, I have my time-lapse. There's the time-lapse going on there, and that is the plant that I am time-lapsing, a Philodendron Gloriosum. Can't wait to bring it to you soon. So thank you for joining me at One Room Plant Guy. My name is Russell, and I hope to see you soon. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, have a good one. Bye-bye.